Hello, everyone, and welcome to week 9 now for business writing. This week actually is fairly straightforward. Essentially, you had a few assignments last week. This week, I will be getting to grading those, so if you're curious about your grade, just be sure to monitor the grades on Blackboard. Pretty much all I have for this week is you will be needing to write and upload your rough draft for your resignation letter. I'm also going to show you the rubric I've made. It's very simple. It doesn't have a lot of components to it, so that you can have some idea of how you might begin writing your rough draft. So that'll be all for this week. No discussion board. Essentially, I just want you to write your rough draft and upload it to in the content to where you upload your rough drafts as you have before. Yeah, and then after that, it'll be spring break. And then we'll come back and do a peer review of the resignation letter. But before you do that, take a minute and watch this video where I explain where to upload everything and also explain the rubric for a bit. Cool. All right, so here is the syllabus. You can see we are on week 9. These assignments that you've turned in, I will be grading this week. As I mentioned, take a look to watch me grade them if you're curious. There's 2 things written down: resignation letter, your rough draft, and discussion board post. Do not worry about the discussion board post. And then next week we'll move into spring break. Then right after that you will be peer reviewing each other's resignation letters. All right, so what I'm going to show you right now is basically where you can find the rubric. If you click on course content, so course content / schedule, the resignation letter rubric will be right there. Just click on it, you can download it and see it. In just a second, I'm going to describe the rubric. It's very simple, pretty straightforward. But before I do that, let me show you where you're going to go to upload your rough draft for your resignation letter this week. Essentially, you'll go to Assignments right here. And if you go to Rough Drafts, Resignation Letter Rough Draft, just upload it right there. Click on this, browse my computer, upload it, and that will do. Last week we talked quite a bit about good ideas for writing a resignation letter. I basically have 3 categories: professionalism, Zinsser's rules, and grammar and language, context for leaving, addressing the issue. So we talked about kind of a rule of thumb. It's typically good to express appreciation, to also, one of the things that some people did that I thought was successful, or what they mentioned, was helping to find a replacement, perhaps. You don't have to write this, but some people in resignation letters say, if you need me to help out and send files or whatever is needed for the next person who transitions in, I'm happy to do that. Could be a good gesture. Almost always good to have an effective date as well. We did talk a little bit about how there could be some exceptions to these depending upon your context, but those are some good general rules. Zinsser's rules: grammar, language, clarity, brevity, specificity, humanity, conciseness. Context for leaving. What you'll also want to talk about is, depending upon what the context is for why you're leaving, how are you addressing the issue? How well did you as the writer address the specific reasons for leaving? All right, and that is legitimately all I have for us this week. So just be sure to write your resignation letter rough draft. One thing I will say is, like the last writing with your appreciation letter, it might be a really good idea to have a few sentences, maybe even a paragraph of context, so that I, as the reader, can judge, okay, this seems to be working, this seems to be the situation, this seems appropriate, why they're doing this or not. I will not grade you on giving that context. However, it might be really helpful for me in terms of grading and giving you an accurate grade. So yeah, that's all. If you have any questions or concerns, let me know. And yeah, there won't be a video next week because we'll be moving into spring break. So just remember that right after spring break, we'll be working on peer review. All right. Thank you, everyone.